God's blessings to everyone. This is a DGHradio.com news and information news update for the British Virgin Islands, and I'm reporter EVH reporting the news for September 17, 2025, covering the latest developments from across the British Virgin Islands. The territory stands at a pivotal juncture as the House of Assembly prepares to debate the Constitutional Review Commission's report. Lawmakers are set to weigh the balance of power, strengthen checks and balances, and clarify the roles of the governor and cabinet. Proposals under discussion include adjusting at-large seats and bolstering independent oversight bodies. The goal is better accountability, better service delivery, and a thoughtful path toward greater autonomy. Alongside this, a recent pay audit has reignited concerns about public sector compensation, noting that lawmakers' salaries, such as the Premier's package of $176,000, sit well above most public service positions. Many residents are calling for a clear criteria-based system for salary adjustments and for voters to prioritize competence and track records over personality. Rule of law and justice system challenges remain front and center. Authorities acknowledge that minors are still being housed with adults at His Majesty's prison, a breach of constitutional protections. The situation underscores the urgent need for a dedicated juvenile justice system and facilities focused on safeguarding and rehabilitation. Separately, the unexpected death of an elderly detainee awaiting trial has prompted questions about care standards for aging inmates and has led to an official inquiry. On the public service front, the Ministry of Health and Social Development has outlined 2025 achievements and 2026 priorities, from updates to substance control laws to stronger prevention campaigns and faster emergency response. The Virgin Islands Public Service Learning Program is also scaling up leadership training to improve strategy, resource oversight, and day-to-day management across government. In economic developments, tourism, the main pillar of the economy, has new leadership with the appointment of Delma Maduro as chair of the Tourist Board. Her mandate includes sharpening the destination brand, improving airlift and ferry connectivity, promoting the outer islands, and embedding sustainable practices that protect the environment while growing visitor spend. Financial services remain a core engine. The British Virgin Islands is working to exit an international gray list by 2027 through tighter transparency rules, stronger enforcement against illicit activity, and clearer pathways to identify company ownership. Leaders emphasize that access to beneficial ownership information will follow legitimate interest standards, seeking to balance effective crime fighting with privacy and competitiveness. Small business growth is on the agenda with the proposed Small Business Development Act of 2025. The bill would simplify licensing for micro businesses, create a government-backed loan guarantee program, offer targeted tax incentives, and establish a small business bureau for mentorship and support, steps designed to diversify the economy and create jobs. Infrastructure work is ramping up. In Roadtown, a major roadworks project is set to last roughly 6 weeks as crews replace aging underground water mains and improve storm drainage to raise water pressure and reduce flooding. In East End and Long Look, government is cracking down on unlawful sewage discharges and urging property owners in designated zones to sign up for free connections to the modernized wastewater network. In brighter news, the Brewers Bay Community Center has reopened after 8 years out of service following the hurricanes of 2017, restoring an essential hub for seniors, youth programs, and emergency coordination. Energy and climate resilience are also in focus. The premier is in New York City for Climate Week, pressing the case that small islands face extreme climate vulnerability and need greater access to international climate finance, partnerships for renewable energy, and investments that harden infrastructure against powerful hurricanes. Turning to safety and community well-being, reported crime has risen by an estimated 13%, with particular concern around gun offenses and domestic violence. In response, the territory will host its first anti-crime summit, bringing together law enforcement, social services, and community leaders to align violence interruption strategies, improve case clearance, strengthen neighborhood policing, and expand support for survivors. 16 illegal firearms have been recovered so far this year. Police are also seeking the public's help to locate missing Tortola resident Jonathan Johnny Archer. In a separate incident, a telecom worker narrowly escaped a life-threatening situation while on duty, fueling calls for stronger occupational safety measures. Education officials will review school uniform policies after a spirited public debate connected to discipline issues involving hairstyles and clothing fit. A diverse review committee will examine clarity, fairness, and the financial burden on families, seeking a balance among discipline, equity, and personal expression. The ministry also reports more students with learning challenges linked to disrupted schooling after the hurricanes and the pandemic. Expanded assessments, teacher training, classroom accommodations, and early interventions are being rolled out to keep students on track. Health authorities have issued a dengue fever alert, noting a noticeable rise in confirmed cases during the rainy season. Residents are urged to drain standing water, cover containers, and use protective measures as part of the Fight the Bite effort. On the environmental front, the British Virgin Islands Fisherfolk Association is urging stricter controls on invasive lionfish, including mandatory culling equipment for divers and a government-supported bounty program to protect reefs and sustain the fishing industry. In culture and sports, the Virgin Islands is mourning the passing of beloved vocalist and songwriter Giavon Sasso Sasso, whose legacy has sparked fresh conversations about preserving local music through archives and education. Looking ahead, the theme for the 2026 Emancipation Festival, a vibrant cultural fusion, a kaleidoscope of British Virgin Islands traditions, invites broad participation and celebrates the territory's rich heritage. On the courts and fields, young athlete Delilah G. Pease made history as the British Virgin Islands' first Pan-American junior squash gold medalist, inspiring the next generation. Meanwhile, the British Virgin Islands Athletics Association has named a 15-member team for the organization of Eastern Caribbean States Track and Field Championships, featuring standouts such as sprinter Rickoy Brathwaite and long jumper Chantel Malone. Regionally, inter-island ferry operators, including services between the British Virgin Islands and the United States Virgin Islands, will adjust schedules in October as travel shifts from summer peaks to a quieter autumn period. Travelers are encouraged to check updated timetables. The Junior Minister for Tourism also paid tribute to Sasso, underscoring the deep cultural ties that bind neighboring islands. The big picture, the British Virgin Islands is working to balance growth with sustainability, seen in tourism strategy, discussions about expanding the cruise ship pier, sewage management upgrades, and the push to control lionfish. Strengthening governance and public trust is critical as constitutional reform, compensation debates, and juvenile detention concerns move to the forefront. Investments in education, public health, small business, and resilient infrastructure aim to build stronger communities. And on the global stage, the territory is advocating for fair treatment of its financial services and for climate justice that matches the realities of small island life. These and other issues are of great concern within the islands. What do you think are some good solutions? Let us know your thoughts by texting your comments to 1-315-898-1449. You can also join our WhatsApp group and get the news, weather, and other insightful information delivered right to your smartphone. To join, text JOIN to 1-315-898-1449. Please include your name in the text message. You will receive a call to verify your request. I'm your reporter, EVH, signing off for DGHradio.com. Remember, EVH and DGH, together we explain, verify, and highlight as we deliver global headlines, because on DGHradio.com, the news never sleeps. Ciao!